In the meantime, we were speaking French before you came. French called Kisi.
With us here is our... Yes.
Let him prepare himself.
Right.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay
with that. Uko sawa na hiyo?
Sawa.
Hiyo iko sawa.
His microphone is
okay?
No.
Right. We're putting it on.
Okay.
You know, okay?
How's that?
Okay.
Uko sawa.
That's good.
Thank you. Welcome, Your Highness Victoria. This is where you belong. Aigangusi. That is, I'm saying we will be renaming you in Ekegusi in this native, and then my name is Mkate Enoch, the best bride in town,
and my name equally is Ronald Mayaka.
Ronald.
I'm the news editor for Kisi FM, and we're going to have the discussion here together. With you.
That's great.
Yes.
Welcome the U.S. Ambassador to Kenya, Senator Karl Makata.
Asante.
Right pronunciations?
Boirere.
Boirere.
Oh yeah, really.
I love that.
Boirere is good evening. Yeah, maybe if you can take time and tell our listeners what your name is and
who are you?
Well, the Kyle McCarter, Ambassador for the United States to Kenya, and it's my great honor to be here with you at your station today.
Yes.
And this is in fact, I'm here we're happy to be here. This is county number 32.
County number 45.
Yeah, well, actually, this is the 32nd county that I've been to in the country.
Okay.
I know everyone has a number.
Yes. Welcome home.
So number 45 is my number 32.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're happy to be here because, it's important to get out to see people, because the United States is making has always done a lot of things.
Yes. Right.
With Kenya, for Kenya, beside Kenya, side by side. But it's always good to get out and see the people that you're working with.
Yes.
And we're very fortunate. Not everybody in Kenya even gets this opportunity to see all of Kenya.
All right.
And so we're really happy about that. So we're happy to be here today.
Okay, you're most welcome.
We're happy to be with the United States of America with us here.
Yeah.
Everyone out there is listening to you, and we are happy that we'll be listening, everyone there, and you will be answering our questions. Just like we start, I want us to look into the first one, that is according to what you have, that is security.
Yes, Your Excellency, welcome. We want to
Al-Shabaab wants to take away the freedom of Kenya, become very aggressive, to come down and attack our joint base. We're not going to give up. We're going to keep fighting because this friendship that we have with the United States and Kenya. I don't call it a partnership. It's not a deal. It's not a business deal. This is a friendship. This is we do what's best for one another.
Yes.
And if your friend's being attacked, you defend him.
Okay.
You stand up for him, and you're not afraid. You're bold, and we're going to continue to do that. So Al-Shabaab is an evil terrorist organization, and we have to continue working together to decimate them and get rid of them and give the people of Kenya and the people of Somalia the freedom that they deserve.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and maybe briefly, Your Excellency, there is a scene being witnessed between the United States of America and Iran following the unrest that we've witnessed in Iran so far.
Okay.
How safe are Americans in these other countries apart from United States of America?
Well,
because we've had concerns, especially when we say that you're coming. Some have even asked through our website, is their security assured, even here in Kenya?
Well, first of all, the attack last week was not connected in any way to what's taking place in Iran.
Yes.
This was a planned attack before any of these incidents took place.
Yes.
So here's the thing: we have to be vigilant. We can't drop our guard. We can't get relaxed. We have to keep fighting back. And this is one of those times where I'm very thankful that I'm not the Secretary of State right now.
Okay.
Because this is a very difficult situation in the world. And like any job I've ever had, I always try to focus on what's in front of me. And my job here is in Kenya, so I want to focus on that, and I'm going to focus on security for Americans that are living here, Americans that are visiting here, those that are working here, and the Kenyan people themselves. So we're going to focus on security here, and we're going to fight back against Al-Shabaab, and give the people the freedom that they deserve.
Okay.
Now that is a word from Ambassador himself that the Kenyans are assured of their security. Whatever case, they are assured of their security.
Listen, everyone has to be responsible for their own security. It's called self-awareness. I mean, you can walk into some bad places at nighttime, and you can be blamed for not being secure in lots of places. So I mean, we have to all be aware of what's happening around us, and be thoughtful. So the United States is going to continue to fight side by side with the KDF to decimate Al-Shabaab.
Thank you. Now let's go to devolution. America being among the best developed countries, Kenya is devolved in a way. Where are you seeing Kenya now in devolution? And in few days, where do you expect Kenya to be?
Well, listen, we believe, the United States believes devolution is a good thing. There's talk of it in the BBI. There's talk of, whether this should stay, whether it should go. We believe it should stay. We believe that a small government that's close to the people is the one that's most responsive.
Right.
It's much more sensitive. It hears what the people need. It can react more quickly to what the people need. You shouldn't have to go to Nairobi and find your MP if you have a local issue.
Yes.
And it's not right. They shouldn't have to do that. And I think we see some of the fruit of devolution. We see healthcare facilities that have grown just in the last 2 years. I mean, it used to be if you had to get a certain procedure, you would have to travel to Nairobi to get it. Now you can get it locally.
Yes.
And so I think we're seeing good things happen. And I think this is an opportunity for leadership. And this is attaching. I want to connect this to the opportunity for young people to step up in leadership. I started in county government. I did. I mean, I was a young business guy. I was working as a salesman with a manufacturing company, and I saw some injustice in my community. I said, "Hey, I want to stop this. I want to keep this from happening." So I got involved in county government when I was very young, and spent 8 years as in a county position like an MCA, and then from there I went to the state government, and so I started in that because I saw something I didn't like. I wanted to change it, so I stepped up and did it. And listen, I lost my first election, I lost my second election, and then finally I got appointed, and then I won 3 times in the county government. Now, devolution has lots of opportunities, and this is one of them. It gives an opportunity for young people to step up in leadership and show what they can do. Give them opportunity to stand up for the rights of people, and you never know. If you're doing a good enough job, they may put you into the next level of authority, and that's what happened with me.
So. Yes. Now that the government is closer to common man. What is the U.S. government doing to now your county 32, that is County 045? What is it doing in partnership with that to devolve?
Well, it's ironic that the majority of the programs that we work on are the devolved issues, like health.
Yes.
Right? The people get the best value for the programs that we're putting in place.
Yeah, Your Excellency, on the issue of HIV, there was an issue that we had some days back that United States of America was withdrawing their sponsorship for ARVs.
Yeah, that's
to Kenya. What was that?
That was on the other station. That was the fake news on the other station.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't yours. It was on the fake news station.
So in other words, what you're saying is United States still sponsors ARVs to Kenya.
We have spent billions of dollars with PEPFAR to develop the ARVs, to distribute the ARVs. The program, any successful program, should get smaller.
Yes.
Think about it. We should never be proud that we have to spend 50 billion shillings every year on this program. We should hope that it comes down to 10, to 5. We should hope that it goes away, right? Because we've had such success and that people are not positive anymore, and they're safe and they're healthy. So what we've seen is that program come down in some size because we don't have much of a problem. And so we should be celebrating the fact that it is getting smaller now, but we're not leaving.
Okay.
We're not leaving at all. We're just as involved. And one thing we're doing is we're working closer with the counties to budget so that we can both do our best.
All right. On the ARVs, is there a way that America, the United States of America government, can build, because there is a big contingent of drugs from the United States to African countries, and our county included, Kisii being included in Nyamira. Is there a way that in Kenya or in Kisii, possibility?
I don't know that. I don't think I'm able to say that. I think, we are obviously looking at, one of the things I believe is we should go from aid to trade. Right? I believe that Kenya has the ability, and I think if we as a friend, if the United States as a friend is going to do the best thing we can for Kenya, that's to help them become self-reliant.
Oh, yes.
And so if that's an actual factory for those drugs, that's fine. I mean, we have to go step by step, right? But we are going to go down the pathway to self-reliance with Kenya, because I just don't think Kenya should no longer be just a beneficiary of foreign aid. In fact, I think it should be a benefactor. I think Kenya should be so successful and so prosperous that it shows the rest of East Africa how it's done right, and they have enough to even give to other people and to be generous.
Yes.
And that's my vision for Kenya. And I believe it's very possible, because Kenya has all the resources it needs. And the greatest resource it has is the young people in this country today.
Yes.
And so we're going to invest in the young people. We're going to invest in health. We're going to invest in clean water. And we're going to continue doing what we're doing, but we're going to do it at the local level, at the county level.
Oh, yes. Now, on the same, now we are going to...
Mukata, before you proceed, I think abateka libamanye nga Nkisi FM enkahimu gusi ega sesturi mase mutoreno mu ambassador we say United States of America tuno kukwana mangana atali make tukwana level ya security
oboli ndi weito na KDF ere chinse chisomali na andonspi oboli ndi weito mbiyabole
otevidense ya America etakata konyense ya Kenya kurwandia mangano
kurwa assets ya United States of America. And
we are sorry, Your Excellency, we want to keep our listeners up to speed with what we are discussing. There are some who may not grasp our English.
No, I trust you.
Thank you so much. Now, on the same, you spoke about United States wanting to partner with Kenya, power our young men and women in several spheres. Looking at the youth in Kenya today, we have youth with talent. We have youth who've gone to school, but they are not empowered. There are no jobs. Is there a way United States of America is helping this youth, either through scholarships, giving them grants to start small-scale businesses?
There is. In fact, a couple of those scholarships are on our website. And our website there is a couple of scholarship programs. One, the Hubert Humphrey, and then the other one is the Fulbright Scholarship, which we gave 4 of those away to Kenyans this last year.
Yes.
And then we have the YALI program, which we have. In fact, we have many graduates from this area.
Yes.
In fact, I met with them this morning, and
I know 3-4.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I always say I don't mind if you go to the United States, go learn, but please come back. Because
Don't say United States.
No, yeah, don't stay. You just learn, get better, get prepared, build your capacity, and then come back. Because Kenya needs you. Kenya needs prepared youth to change this country. And that's so I tell people, listen, don't run from it.
Yes.
Get prepared, come back, get involved. Whether it's county government, whatever it is, whether it's small business, as an entrepreneur. I mean, my Victoria gave some very good advice to the YALI alumni today, and that was be problem solvers. You look at a problem and take that and make it an opportunity, because your success could turn into the success for all the people around you and your whole county and your whole country. And so the new culture needs to be one that says no.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to do that. Because we believe that this is not a game of grabbing whatever you can.
Yes.
This is a matter of investing in your country, investing in your friends, and having self-respect to where you're not just going to take the pathway of a thief.
Okay. I think we will come to the point of corruption selectively. We will talk something small about it. Maybe get to let us know your thoughts about our fight against corruption in Kenya.
You're in charge.
Right.
Yes. So in the same, now,
yes.
You're going now into corruption.
Yes.
Now that it has come.
Yes.
Someone who works with an NGO that they use ARVs, she's asking, is it true that U.S. government did cut the funding of the ARVs or to NGOs in Kenya? Can it be, if it's real, can it be via corruption?
No. Listen, every program is susceptible to corruption. We know that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why we have to bring as much transparency as possible.
Yes.
We have to, because with the transparency comes the accountability. And listen, I've always got my eyes open.
Yes.
And I'm always bringing attention to, this is what I've done my whole life, is expose, the corruption.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I was in the county government, the state government, that's all I did. And so we're very sensitive to this because we're free.
Mm-hmm.
And so for 5 years, even my wife got pulled over in front of our house. I think it was a block away from our house. She was with some of our. I know, not at all. When you have over $8 billion a year,
Yes.
that is being stolen. I mean, you think about it. How big is that? If I came to this county today and I said, listen, I'm going to provide 800 billion shillings, okay?
Yes.
And I'm going to provide food security. I'm going to have housing. I'm going to have manufacturing. I'm going to have health care.
Mm-hmm.
What did I just list? That's the big four, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Big four.
That's the same cost as the big four. I could personally, if I had that much money, I could personally deliver that for Kenya. That's how much is being stolen.
Yes.
And so now think about how much
The
of
big four is being stolen.
the whole big four is being stolen. It doesn't matter what you think about politically. It doesn't matter whose idea it is. Those are all good things for Kenyans, right? That's what the Wananchi need.
Yes.
But this is being taken away from them. They're being deprived of this prosperity because of these thieves. So yeah, I take it seriously. And no, we have not done as much as we can do, but the United States is going to take a stand. And we find out these things, and if you lie, you're out of the process. Now that's not the way to go. So don't believe it. That's not the truth. They say, well, go to the person on the left, go to the person on the right, you'll get it. That's not true. Everyone is looked at the same according to the law.
And maybe on the same, briefly, when President Donald Trump took power in the United States, there were this news doing rounds that there are immigrants in the United States who need to be deported back to their countries. Maybe they are there illegally or something. How can somebody find himself in the United States illegally?
How can we stay there?
Yes.
Well, we obviously have we have border issues of our own.
You have your own issue equally in the
you
United
know,
States.
if Kenya thinks they have a border issue in the north with Somalia, we have a border issue in the south in the United
Mr.
States.
Ambassador, why it was worrying to Kenyans is because
Yeah.
we have so many of them living in the United States, and they were like, this gentleman is coming to take us back home. There were a lot of, and I believe demonstrations in the United States about the same.
People that follow the law should not be afraid ever. But when you don't follow the law, you should be afraid. I mean, it's very simple. That's why we have the law.
Yes.
We have the law to keep order. And so, the best thing to do is just follow the law.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do, you don't have to fear.
Now, finally, before we wind up, I want, before First Lady comes in and says, hi, ukwane Kagusi. I mean, you speak Kagusi. You speak this native language here.
Yes, Versi.
You be speaking Kagusi. Prepare now yourself. Be preparing. Mbuyamole. Let's say hi. Good evening. Now, the last word before we wind up. As you've walked around Kisii, we have the best soapstone in the world. I can authoritatively report that. US can do us a favor. We have the best matoke, bananas. We have
That's
the
true.
best. You're going to test one.
Yeah, I had it at lunch.
Yeah.
I had it for lunch.
You've launched them.
And I had your special local greens.
Yes, local
Geez,
greens.
they were great.
Please,
Oh, good.
Kisii FM, from my proprietor, the manager, and everyone here,
Yeah.
we are requesting that America can do us a favor. You can set us a good factory for soapstone because we have the best quality. We have it. Please, you can consider us and give us a factory here, and you can come. We
By the
have
way,
a piece. We are so hospitable. We can give you a piece where you can build. Victoria Kwaganda kwa Chinsaga. That is, go and pick your greens, and then you cook.
Have you had an opportunity of looking at the soapstones, by the way?
We did. We went to the museum today and took a look at some of the beautiful works of art.
Right.
In fact, I've got some at my house that were given to me.
In fact,
if
we have a lot
if
here
you
for
come to my front door of my house, you'll see Twiga and Cheetah there at the front door.
Right.
And I think, in fact, we have some ideas. We have some ideas of how that value can be shown to the world.
All right.
And I think that's what it is. We don't want to show. You don't want to show the value just to a wholesaler
Yes.
who's going to charge 10 times somewhere else.
Yes.
And because the people here, I think, need to be rewarded for the work that they put into this, their creativity and their talent.
Right.
And so we've got some ideas. In fact, Victoria she did have the best idea of the day. So she shared that with them at the museum. And I think they're going to make a lot of money off her idea.
Oh,
I
that's
just want a small percentage.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
That is nice. Very good. You be here. And then we did talk
By the way,
about
if you
sports.
do that, you don't know what you'll be doing to the people on the ground.
Well, no,
It will
listen.
be improving their economic status.
Yeah, and I think we have to be, this is about opportunity.
Yes.
And this is not about, people are ready to work.
Right.
And that's the thing about Kenya. Kenyans are
Kenya is
hardworking.
sweet. Tell people Kenya is sweet. Now, Madam Victoria, how are Your Highness? Please come and say hi in Chutokwani Kagusi.